Hello, everyone. I hope you all are staying home and doing well. Today, we are going to discuss the importance and principles of educational administration. First, we will discuss the importance of educational administration. For the purpose of becoming an effective leader or manager who is in charge of an educational institution, he or she needs to be familiar with the theoretical concepts and best practices relating to educational administration. And in trying to gain the good understanding of educational administration, we have to make certain assumptions that organizations are essential and it's impossible to avoid the influence of different types of organizations on human life. Second, administrators can perform useful functions within organizations and with knowledge and understanding of organizational behavior, but both internal as well as external. And without that, it only with internal and external behavior could enable an administrator to act more effectively. And it's very important to achieve some specific objectives. And educational organizations and their administrations, they have some unique characteristics that deserve the distinctive treatment. Educational administration, it ensures the efficient and effective delivery of relevant educational services, as well as implementing of legislative policies through planning, through decision making, and through leadership. Educational administration, or management of institutions, it is designed to foster the teaching and learning process. And these institutions, they include the public and private schools, they include the technical education of college, they include the special education institutions, they include public and private universities, they may include all the institutions fostering the teaching and learning process. The management or administration of this broad range of institutions, they support the notion that educational administration is a field of practice. And similarly, it has certain aspects that are common to other fields of management as well, such as we have public administration, we have hospital administration, and business management as well. So these were some importance of the educational administration. Now let's move towards the principles of educational administration. You know, to provide good and appropriate education to the learners, it involves all the steps of educational activity that is concern of the educational administration actually. And it is good administration that provides excellent education. The basic point to be noted is that administration must conceive all-round development of education and then ensure the maximum developmental program of education. As far as the principles of educational administration are concerned, first and the foremost principle is the structural democracy. Being the first principle of educational administration in the modern era, it puts stress on the democracy in structural perspective, and it implies the exercise of control in democracy. The meaning of structural democracy is such that it helps the students as future citizens in fulfilling their needs and requirements, tending to their self-realization, tending to their safeguard the democratic government and welfare of the people at local, at state level, as well as at national levels. So in this regard, an educational administrator, he will be the fittest one who can manage the autocracy as and when necessary to achieve the goals of an educational program. And for actualizing, he has to perform his duty as democratically as possible. So this was the first principle of the educational administration. And our second principle is the operational democracy. As far as the operational democracy is concerned, this principle gives the priority on the practical aspects of democracy as a way of life and the form of governance. And to this essence of democracy, it is to give importance on the dignity of every individual and assisting him to understand himself. And in this context, this principle considers democracy as a matter of spirit, as a way of life, and as a mode of behavior. So keeping this in view, it is the task and responsibility of an educational administrator to focus on day-to-day happenings in relation to democratic society in educational perspective that are relevant in wider extent. Our third principle of educational administration is justice. Justice refers to provide every individual his due in the society by honoring his individuality. This meaning of justice is the essence of democracy. And as justice is one of the basic hallmark of democratic administration, it is regarded as an essential principle of educational administrating, which is democratic in form, which is democratic in nature, and democratic in practice as well. So the educational administrators who are practicing justice as one of the principles of educational administration, they must be judicious, and they must be judicious while dealing with the employees, while dealing with the students, and while dealing with the public at large. But in practice, it's not happening anywhere, as the educational administrators, they very often arbitrarily exercise the discretionary powers and too narrowly apply the uniform points at in one point. So, this is how the principle of justice works in an educational institution. Our next principle is the equality of opportunity. One of the important social objective of education is to equalize opportunity or facility for enabling the backward or underprivileged class and individuals to use the education as a means for improvement of their condition. So, in order to keep the equality of opportunity in concrete shape in the field of education, educational administration plays a very vital role. And for this, greater emphasis should be given on equality of educational opportunity for the sake of accelerating the processes for building up of an egalitarian human society in which the age-old social exploitation will be reduced to minimum. Here, the egalitarian means the people who are given the equal, who deserve the equal rights, who deserve the equal opportunities as well. Here, the principle of uniformity is not to be practiced and maintained in the field of educational administration, as equality does not refer to uniformity. And the cause is that opportunity means to provide adequate facility or scope to every individual for his development. So this was the equality of the opportunity. And our next principle of educational administration is prudence. The principle prudence, it is closely related to intelligent economy, which implies the quality control. And in order to ensure the quality control in the field of education, administration has to make expenditure on education by accepting it as an investment on human resources, which is very important. Because without necessary expenditure on education, there will be no question of quality in it. And then what about the matter of quality control? It's very evident from several studies that now in educational administration, there lies a lot of wasteful expenditure for which the system of check and balance is very essential. And the system of check and balance is prudential in nature, which seeks to protect an educational institution or organization and enterprise from misbehaviors by an official or authority as misuse of power and funds that creates the great mischief. So it's very known to one and all that misuse of power, misuse of money, it leads to the loss of public in general. Hence, like general administration and educational administration, there is a necessity of the system of check and balance to prevent such misuse. So this will be done only if educational administration accepts it as its principle in real situation. There are now a few concepts regarding the principles of educational administration, which are linked actually to the principles. And the concepts are the adaptability. This is the first concept that is linked with the principle of educational administration. Second is the flexibility. And third is the suitability. An institution must be able to adjust with changing situations by fulfilling the developing needs and by improving its day-to-day dealings with persons or agencies that are involved with it. So this characteristic of an institution is can be called as an adaptability. And in the process of achieving its educational objectives, it has to deal differently with different human beings, like with the teachers, like with the parents, and the public at large, who are affected in one way or other way by the process or its products. So, this tendency can be called as a flexibility. The educational institution, they, however, must be able to achieve the adaptability, without creating any dislocation or disruption in its process and achievements. This property can be named as stability. All these three characteristics are very important, and in every institution must have all these three characteristics. It's a in order to be able to achieve its objectives adequately and to give the due regard to all the persons that are concerned in some way or other way. So, this is all for today. We discussed the importance, we discussed the principles of educational administration. I will see you soon again with my new video lecture. Till then, stay tuned to our channel and stay safe. And please don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. Thank you.